Welcome to Spiedel's Federal Tax Minute. I'm your host, Catherine Zidane, and this week we're covering the Schedules K-2 and K-3 domestic partnership exemption, which has been expanded and revised. Attendees of Spiedel's 2022-2023 Federal Tax Update webinar will receive a sample partner or shareholder notification letter as part of the webinar materials. You can see a complete list of topics covered at this 8-hour webinar at spiedel.com under the Webinars tab. In late October, the IRS released the 2022 Draft Partnership Instructions for Schedules K-2 and K-3, which contain a new domestic filing exception. The S-Corporation instructions followed shortly after with substantially the same provisions. The domestic filing exception states that partnerships and S-Corporations are not required to complete Schedules K-2 and K-3 if they have no or limited foreign activity, all owners are U.S. citizens or resident aliens, the partnership or S-Corporation sends specific notification to the partners or shareholders by January 15th for calendar year taxpayers, and no partners or shareholders specifically request Schedule K-3 from the entity by February 15th for calendar year taxpayers. In the October version of the draft instructions, the domestic filing exception required that each partner or shareholder needs to receive a notification from the partnership or S-Corporation, either electronically or by mail, dated no later than 2 months before the due date for filing the entity's Form 1065 or 1120S, not including extensions. The notification has to state that the partners or shareholders will not receive a Schedule K-3 from the partnership or S-Corporation unless the partners or shareholders request the schedule. 2 months before the due date for calendar year Forms 1065 and 1120S is January 15th. In the updated draft of the Schedule K-2 and K-3 instructions released on December 2nd, the IRS expanded eligibility for the new domestic partnership exemption from filing Schedules K-2 and K-3 and revised the notification requirements for partnerships or S-Corporations that want to qualify for the exemption. As before, to qualify for the domestic partnership exemption, the partnership or S-Corporation has to have no or only limited foreign activity, and all of its owners are required to be individuals who are U.S. citizens or resident aliens, domestic decedent estates, or domestic grantor and non-grantor trusts. But in the updated draft instructions, eligible partnerships now also include partnerships with partners that are S-Corporations owned by a sole shareholder and disregarded single-member LLCs owned by U.S. citizens or resident aliens, domestic decedent estates, domestic grantor trusts, or sole shareholder S-Corporations. Also, to qualify for the exemption, partnerships and S-Corporations are no longer required to send a notice to the partners or shareholders by January 15th, informing them that they have to request Schedule K-3 before the original due date of the entity's return. Instead, qualifying partnerships and S-Corporations can just notify their partners or shareholders that they can request Schedule K-3 at the time the entity sends Schedule K-1 to the partner or shareholder. The notice can even be sent as an attachment to Schedule K-1. But the partner or shareholder can request the entity to provide Schedule K-3 up to 1 month before the extended due date of the entity return, which is August 15th for calendar year entities. We've been covering the K-2 and K-3 filing requirement in Spiedel's federal tax letter. For more information on this monthly publication and to download a sample issue, go to spiedel.com and click Publications. That's all for this week. Join us next time for another episode of Spiedel's Federal Tax Minute.